Hello everyone and welcome back to Dewy del Mar. This is episode 4 of our series. Right now we're looking at the custom ports and the expanded train yard that we built last episode. And so far so good. If we take a look at our statistics, this is providing almost 300 jobs to the region, and then the train yards are providing about 80, which that's a good solid number of jobs. And you can see buses coming to and from the region bringing our citizens economic security, so happy how this turned out. Unfortunately, I guess garbage is not being collected today because this guy's been on a break ever since I started recording. So let's just give him a little nudge. I'm gonna use the better bulldozer tool to give him a break. So today I want to do something a little different. I've been getting awesome feedback from all the viewers, and if you look at some of the past videos, there are some great comments on things I can change or improve or ideas to implement. And so I want to start a couple of episodes every so often where I incorporate your feedback because I want this to be like a collaborative effort. And I am by no means an expert in either this game, certainly not city design. I'm not like City Planner Plays. I do not have a degree in urban design. My expertise lies in typing programs into a computer and making websites appear. So a little different, but I appreciate all the comments and all the ideas that y'all have. So I want to build them into the city. So that's the idea today. I have a list of about 6 comments from people across all 4 episodes and clearly across regions, because one of them was in French, and that's kind of awesome. I'm going to go through each of them and we're going to add them to the city and see how they look. But pretty sure they're going to be awesome because, they are excellent suggestions. So let's get started. Okay, our first commenter is Andrew D 2212, and they suggested that I kind of explain all these road snapping options that I quickly toggle on and off because there are a lot of options here. These 2 are actually from mods, and so I'm not very familiar with them. So by default, I just kind of turn them off. But you'll see that I mostly have these 3 on, as well as sometimes guidelines or snap to zone grid, and then usually contour lines. Although this is not a snapping option per se, it just, it shows the terrain lines. But the reason I have these 3 primarily is because snap to geometry just means that it'll snap to the road that's there already, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, I could start from here, whereas I want to start from the center of the lane sometimes. Sometimes it's annoying too because it might get caught on snapping to there's a small train track in the middle there that I don't want to snap to, or some other type of building. See how it's snapping to something in there. So when I'm dealing with an open set of roads here, I'll definitely have snap to guidelines on. Sorry, snap to existing geometry. This snap to zoning cell length just lets me better calculate how far out I'm gonna go. So you can see this is going out 9 units. And so when I'm building a grid, for example, I know oh, this is going to be 9 by 9. Whereas if I have this off, it can go out, decimal units, which is kind of annoying to remember if you're trying to build a mathematically precise interchange or something like a grid where you want everything to be the same. So this is more of a convenience. And I believe actually that this showing units is a mod, which is legacy flavor. And if you don't have that, it'll show meters instead, which, I mean, you can show meters, or yards, I think, if you're using the Imperial system. But units are just a lot easier for me to remember. So I have that mod in place. Snap to 90 is what it sounds like. It snaps it to a 90-degree angle so we can create a consistent zoning grid. Sometimes it's not that snappy, it's very easy to get off the 90-degree angle, but when you're dealing with a blank canvas of zoning grids like this, that's definitely helpful. The other 2 that I always use, or sometimes use, snap to guidelines, I mainly use for curving roads. So for example, let's say I have a road going out like this, and then like this, and let's say I want to make a nice curve from here into this stub right here. Snap to guidelines will help with that I'm gonna come out, and when, I see this guideline right here, then I know that when I curve back down, it'll meet that road perfectly. And that's definitely helpful with intersections, or hey, with train tracks, trying to get nice curves into there. If you don't have that on, you're gonna get something like this, where you might come out a little too far, and then you come in and see how there's like a kink in the curve there. That's just not aesthetically pleasing. So that's what the guidelines help with. Snap to zone grid. This helps prevent the grid from breaking up. So if you don't have this, like, see how there's this gap of zone grids right there? If you want to keep this on, it'll make sure that you start building the road on existing zoning tiles, and so it'll keep those in place. Otherwise, you could easily, you can eyeball it like this, and yeah, already you can see there's a little gap there, so you're going to miss out on maximal zoning coverage within your grid. So that's, if you want to try to keep your zoning tiles intact, which, honestly is kind of a fool's errand sometimes, definitely have this option on. These two, I'm honestly not that familiar with. Snap to surface of an object, I'm guessing is coming from the Extra 3.0 tools, where you can snap a prop to the surface of an object, but I never use these for roads, so yeah, I always have this off. And I don't even know what this one is. Snap to lock grid. I don't know what a lock grid is, so by default, if I don't know what it is, I'm just turning that off. But yeah, thank you, Andrew D2212, for pointing that out, because I have just been like willy-nilly turning these off and on. But hopefully that gives you a little explanation of what these toggles do. All right, and we have our next comment from Jay La 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 La, who is a returning viewer. So welcome back, Jay. They pointed out that I did not actually make a cargo route from this terminal to our outside connections, which is, a pretty gross oversight. But that actually brought up a good issue that I've been having. I could not make a connection from our route, route here, to our outside city of Ashington here. See how the line tries to come up this way? Even though if we start from here and we have a waypoint going to right here, it'll use the backup mechanism that we devised, but for whatever reason, if I want to go out here, it does not connect. And after looking at the track, we have a wayward node right here. You can see how there's a break, and if we turn on our bulldozer tool, yep, there it is. So not sure how that happened, but simple enough to fix. So let's get our double track back. Bring this out here, get a 180, bring a little closer. And now we'll use our guidelines to curve. Oh, I have the straight tool on. I was wondering why. Turn on our simple curve, get our guidelines going, 180, and then if we look at that connection, okay, yeah, that's nice and clean now. So if we go back to here, and if we inspect the route, there you go. It is using our back mechanism. I don't like it though. I don't really like how this looks. I think it's a little weird. And I was looking at some other pictures of how tracks cross, and it is possible to have tracks cross perpendicular. So something I want to try, I'm going to delete these two routes, and then I'm just going to have a single lane tool. We're going to use the continuous road tool, turn off everything but that, and I'm just going to have this loop back into each other. I know there's a tight curve, but the train assets themselves aren't that big, and they'd be going super slow around here anyway, so I feel like that's doable. And yeah, it's totally possible to have these cross just like that. I was looking at pictures, and yeah, apparently it happens. So all that's left is to bring out this connection, make sure our guidelines are on, like that, and then swoop into there. All right, and so if we get our cargo tool again, let's start from here, and then inspect to Ashington, boom, there we go, and bring it back. And then last but not least, we gotta have our outside connection to Starford, that's it, and bring it back. Excellent. Okay, we're now exporting and importing goods since our port is actually non-functional. I have not unlocked the cargo route yet, but sorry, the cargo tab, but once I do, I can rename those to something more realistic. But yeah, thanks Jay La 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 for pointing that out. Next up we have Brejman80-KP1MX, who suggested in French, so I had to auto-translate, but pretty sure they meant, or they said, make the crayons higher, have fewer of them, and then the best part I think is put them on a train track to kind of simulate them going back and forth between these shipping lanes, and I think that is an excellent idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove these two shipping lanes right here, and I think that just makes sense because they're very close to this bridge, and if I were a cargo captain, I would not want to make this U-turn. Because right now we do not have drawbridges. Maybe when the Bridges and Piers DLC drops in 20 years, but for now, yeah, this is just a static bridge. So yeah, I'm gonna bring the shipping lanes back to here, and then I'm gonna bring a single lane train track in between Orchard Street, curve it down here, and do an S-curve along here. And then maybe bring another track down this way, and I'm gonna put some oil tankers here instead to simulate more storage. Okay, so step one is moving or removing these shipping lanes here. Some of these cranes are gonna pop in and out of existence, but that's, I don't know, that's been happening to me a lot. Something with moving anarchy, but it's fine. We can always just place them down again. To lop off this section right here, I'm gonna create a temporary net lane by connecting to here, and now we can just twink, lop that off. I'll leave the lights in there. I really wish I could delete, like if I turn off the bulldozer, those, oh wait, oh yeah, okay, and those go away too. I'm not sure how to like properly delete these like hidden props, but I feel like I have to remove certain decals before they pop in, but whatever. Okay, next step, I'm gonna make room for a track in between Orchard Street, because right now it would try to connect to both and just, it messes up the nodes. So to start, I'm gonna get my level terrain tool. I'm gonna bring everything down to the level of Heather Street. But we can create a more gentle slope for this road right here. Let's get our 2-lane one-way road. I'm gonna turn off everything except 90 degrees because I don't want it to snap to the zoning tiles here or to the very end of the road. I want to come out a little bit farther. Let's say right about there. Yeah, that should be enough room. And let's bring it to about here. The reason I brought the terrain down to Heather Street's level is so this node right here didn't have like a sudden drop, which, you know, it tends to do sometimes. But to get the level, or to get the terrain back up, we're going to turn this section of Heather Street into a retaining wall. We can then go back to our level terrain tool, get this elevation, and then bring this back up. This does create some gnarly shadows along Orchard Street, but that's okay. Once the sun moves, they'll come back to normal. Okay, excellent. Let's get a single lane train track, 2-way. Turn off everything except snap to 90 for the same reason. I don't want to snap to these edges here or to the intersection. So I'm just gonna eyeball the middle here. And oh yeah, nice. Okay, that should work. And we're gonna bring it all the way down. Excellent. And then we'll eventually just curve this back in. Let's do that now. Get a simple curve. In fact, we don't even need snap to guidelines. Let's do a complex curve because we'll go out here. Snake it in just like that. Okay. Next step, let's extend our background surface that we made here. Okay, a little better. Next step is to make our kind of S-curve coming down here. So we should have plenty of room. The curves will be tight, but these trains will be, if we create like a fake cargo stop here, the train's gonna be moving super slow. So it's okay if it's a little tight, but I'm just gonna go ahead and remove these cranes for now because I know they're gonna pop in and out of existence. So I'm just gonna redo them. Let's first put down our train track though. Back to a two-way, one-way. Two-way, one lane. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna turn off everything except snap to. Actually, I can turn off everything. I want to get as close to the road as possible, and then we're gonna bring it down along the edge. Yoink. Okay, and hey, one pop back into existence. All right. Next, I'm going to get our simple curve, snap to existing geometry in 90, because I want to create, actually, units too. We're going to go, let's do 4 out, 4 down. Okay, that curve looks good. And there's no like node breakage like we did with the bridge. Where is it? It was like over here somewhere. This one, let's see. I'm gonna double click here, triple click, and then remove this node because I wanted to first extend it all the way through the street. All right, let's get yeah, these snappings because I want to create a straight shot right here. And then let's bring this up actually a little farther, and now we can use our snap to guidelines to create a nice gentle curve. And let's see. I want the length of this part of the curve to be equal to this part of the curve to create a nice gentle one, but that's probably close enough. I think that's good, yeah. Oh, no, we do have a node breakage. I lied. Let's see if we can't fix that. There we go, okay. So now we have equal curve lengths on both sides. And how does this node look? That looks fine, I think, yeah. Okay. I'm also going to extend a track out this way, so let's down towards here, because I'm gonna put, glad that didn't break there. I'm gonna put like a oil tanker storage units here, so I think that'd be cool if we had the cranes moving down here, turning around, getting some oil, and putting them back on the ship. I'm also gonna put some cranes here to simulate them putting, I don't know, cargo containers from here onto a train that parks right there, and then goes back into the world. We actually probably don't even need this curve right here, but I don't know, I think it looks cool. All right. Let's redo our cranes now. So let's search for crane, not carne. Again, not carne. I like how they're different colors again. It's like different companies. Okay, let's also put a single crane right here. Can I bring it down to ground level? Yes, there we go. So this will be like if we ever get a working integrated cargo station, we could plop it right here, and like a train could park here, and the crane would take shipping containers from here and put them on the train. So nice. All right, to fill up this space, I want to get a big oil storage unit. So we're gonna go to buildings, industrial, let's do oil storage. And I want 6 by 6. So we're gonna use our filters, lot width up to 6, lot depth up to 6, and I want one with more. Yeah, like that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna plop that there. And what did that do to our crane? All right, let's actually, we should be able to just move it up. Cool. Not sure why I did that, but everything else looks okay. I'm then just gonna get some basic industrial zoning here. Let's do a 4x5. Excellent. And last, let's get some more stain and crack decals. So stains, we'll do it along the edge of the track here, I think. We're playing with fire here, putting electrical charging stations right next to oil, but we like to live dangerously in Dewy del Mar. Okay, I think that's all looking good. Now let's hit play and see if anything breaks. Oop, this went down again. Not sure why. Let's bring it back up. Okay. Hopefully that stays in place now that we've hit play. And this factory just popped in, and I love how it has a smokestack. That looks really cool. Completely dangerous next to the oil tankers, but whatever. I also added some props here. But cool, yeah, thank you, Brejman. This was a great idea. Love how this turned out. Next, I want to point out a simple oversight brought up by, I think, Theo Benkaya or The O Benkaya. But they pointed out that unless you're breaking the law and driving the bus lane like this person, you can't actually access the parking lot here. So what I want to do is I just want to bring back the bus lane markings. So let's go here, replace tool, right click to undo. This doesn't mean that buses can't drive here now, but we're going to allow traffic just on this segment right here. And then to give them a better out, I'm going to change this to a regular 2-lane road. Oop, let's snap to all this. And I think normally I would try to find like a sign that says bus only till then, but we could also say that this is like a kiss and ride lane. So if you're a car, you can pick up your friends and family on the left side, and then the right side is reserved for buses. But yeah, hopefully we will see more people parking here because they feel more comfortable not breaking the law, unlike this sedan. Who's the owner? The Trilby family. You lawbreakers. Hey, look at that. We already got a new car, so glad that worked out. Our next fix comes from actually the first episode when we built the central station, and this is from _Mike628, who suggested when I was having trouble building a pedestrian bridge connect to the tiles and I had that weird visual glitch, Mike just said, hey, remove this and put a real pedestrian path in between that it can connect to. So we're going to give that a shot. One thing, I am going to build the bridge over here, even though it's not strictly necessary, just because I feel like we don't have a lot of space to work with over here. I like having the bushes against the fence, and yeah, it would just be a little cleaner, I think, on this side. And I mean, it would look nice, and it would be nice for people not to have to go in between these stoppers at the end of the tracks to get to the middle. So what we're going to do is remove our palm trees for now, as well as the fake pedestrian paths that we made in between. And finally, this middle tile surface. Let's go to our pedestrian path tool. I'm going to turn off all the snappings because it's pretty tight in here. I don't want it connecting to the train tracks. I'm going to go out to about here, eyeball it, get into the middle, and then I'm going to end actually inside the garden bed, so we have a nice clean end to the pedestrian path there. Okay, next step, let's lower our elevation step, turn on snap to existing geometry in 90 so we can get a nice clean new connection here. I'm going to bring it up 5 meters, and let's go to about here. Okay, now I'm going to change to a cable-stayed pedestrian bridge just because it looks cool. And we're going to go out to about there, back to regular, and then we're going to go back down to ground level. We'll connect there, and then this will be steeper, but that's totally okay on this side. And I don't want to connect all the way to the street because that's going to create a really funky looking node. So we're going to stop about there. One more thing, I'm going to make these covered paths just because that kind of looks cool. And then they don't have to look at the blight that is the train stoppers. Okay, that works. There are some terrain issues that I want to fix first. What we can do here is a combination of using our key walls and then move it mod. So I'm going to turn this into a key wall, and I think that kind of looks cool, having the cement go into the garden there. Next, let's select the move it mod. I'm going to click on this node and then start spamming the down button, as well as this one right here. We're going to bring this a little back, and then let's go to manipulation mode. I'm selecting this node specifically, and we're bringing it back up to ground level, making sure that's nice and level. Okay. This one has come up a little bit again. Let's drag it back just a smidge. And then can we lower it? Yes, we can. Okay. So there is this little dip right here, but can I smooth that out? It is not the end of the world if we can't, although this weird kink is the end of the world, so I'm going to undo that. I think maybe we'll just hide it with more flowers or something like that. I'm sure there's some way to manipulate the terrain, but honestly, probably not worth it. Yeah, okay, we're going to leave that as is and hide that somehow. for these connections, this one will be a lot simpler. We're just going to use the key wall tool to do that, basically. Both sides. Okay, that will flatten the terrain, and then same thing over here. Honestly, not sure why this happens, but yeah, kind of annoying. That's okay. We got mods to the rescue. Let's, can we fix this node a little bit? Yeah, make that a little less kinky. Okay, cool. So that is our pedestrian bridge. Now let's go back and use our invisible pedestrian paths to kind of connect this to the actual bus stops and everything now. So we're gonna just go. Oh, that's right. We don't want them to cross the track, but we will make a connection from here to this track since we deleted it, as well as over here. And then in between, we're gonna make this connection here. Let me turn off all snappings. Make that, okay, and we'll do a few others along the way. I am noticing a bit of a weird kink in this node, so let's try to fix that one more time with move it. I'm just gonna bring it slightly over, and all right. I'm afraid to mess with it further, and I feel like I just need to leave it. Okay, I'm gonna call that, and then let's just hide these with some kind of nice cultivated flower. Sure. What dip? Excellent. Okay, do we need to do anything over here? No, we do not. Oh, what is... I do not know why we're missing a fence here, but that's okay. Let's go to... It is net lanes. What kind of fence? I think that's a residential fence. This one, perhaps. Connect those up. Nope, wrong one. Where are you at? This one, perhaps? Yeah. Okay. Not sure why that was broken, but okay. Now we have a way for Sims to safely get to the middle, even if we didn't actually require a bridge. That kind of looks cool, so we're gonna go with it. Yeah, thanks, Mike628. Great suggestion. Okay, our final comment comes from DBAA Khan, who pointed out that our elementary school is not really within our residences. Or our residential districts, and yeah, they're right. This should probably be a little more central, but I'm actually gonna just add a new elementary school up here because this is gonna segue into our grid expansion chapter for the episode, where I'm gonna get a couplet going as like the backbone of our Santa Ana Farms and Sierra Industries to meet up with our 4-laner up here, and that'll just give us a nice spine to add some grids going up towards the hills a little bit. And then that'll be a nice boost to our population, and we'll add some commercial and office, both of which have high demand. I'm also going to, I think I'm going to upgrade Oak Street here. This looks like a nice view for, if we have a divided 4-lane road that leads right into the central station, I think that would be a great sight line. Which means I'm going to upzone a few of these buildings as well, add more office and commercial to get more jobs within East and West Old Town. Although I do see that we're already getting... Oh, no. All right, the icon went away, so maybe we do need some more commercial. And indeed, I see high density creeping back up, which is kind of unusual for a city this small, honestly. Yeah, not sure what that's about. But first thing I want to do is smooth out these hills just a smidge. I'm going to get the terrain tool, boost the brush size. Let's go up to 75%. And then, yeah, I'm just going to soften these a little bit. I don't want to get rid of every bump because, I don't know, it gives the neighborhood some character. And I definitely do not want to touch these because these are going to become our Beverly Hills, or our version of it. But just to make things a little easier, let's grade the terrain here a little bit, and that looks good. I am going to leave this elementary school here until we decide whether we want a new one over here, because we are going to move towards the coast eventually as well. And that new elementary school can perhaps service all this northern-facing residential districts. But for now, let's expand this way. I'm going to do a couplet. So we're going to do a 2-lane one-way road, but with parallel mode. And I'm also going to make this a little wider. I'm thinking eventually it would be kind of cool if this had a tram track going in between the roads here. I've put trams on actual roads, and I find that they clog traffic a lot. And so I either like to do something like an elevated tram, kind of like the Chicago L that I showed in Asgardia, or I haven't done this before where I put it in between a couplet. So I think that could look cool. But for now, yeah, let's do a couplet going from this road all the way down to our 4-laner. So to start, I'm actually gonna get just a guideline road to make sure that we're starting off near a 90. So 90 there, 90 there. Now let's turn this on. We're gonna start, let's start, yeah, sure, around here. We'll go out a ways, line up to maybe that street right there, this one right here. And now let's go to freeform tool. And yeah, snap to 180. We can turn off the zone toggle because there is no zone out here. We're gonna curve around here. Let's do another straight stretch around here. And then I'm gonna bring it back down around here. Maybe a little bit farther. And then I'm gonna just eyeball this because I want to create what City Planner Plays calls a super node right here. And we can do that by, ooh, I see that little kink there? Sometimes that happens. We'll fix that up, but I'm gonna turn off parallel mode. And next get this simple curve. We're gonna start here, line it up, and then let's just turn on guidelines. So we're at a 113 degree angle. We go up like that. Let's try to get something similar if I can. It's kind of hidden there, but probably like around here. Yeah, I think that looks good enough. All right, and 5th time's the charm. One thing, obviously, we got to readjust the direction of this road. And there we go. We have a couplet going all the way out to here, but now we want to do the same thing for this intersection over here. I'm gonna have it come into right here, and then we get like a nice plaza looking over the entrance to this intersection. So might get a little wonky with the node. We'll see how it turns out, but let's do a simple curve. I'm gonna turn off everything except these two. Start here, and we'll just go nice and gentle in. That was my autosave freezing up the frame, sorry about that. All right, and same thing. We'll go out here. Let's try to line up, okay, right there. And how does that look? A little wonky, but you know, five lane intersections, that's kind of interesting, so I'll take it. That'll be fun. Maybe eventually we can make that a roundabout as well, but this definitely leaves us enough space for a future tram line if we want to go down that road. But this is a little weird. Let's get rid of all this foliage. All right, we have our couplet backbone. Let's get some intersections for some of our roads into Santa Ana Farms. So I'm actually gonna use an alleyway now. I don't feel like a gravel road would be connecting to a high trafficked couplet like this, but we'll go to both of these. Whoops, let's do straight edge. Just like that, and that kind of broke the grid. Let's see if we can't, the grid was broken anyway, so whatever. Next, I want to start a grid going up towards the hills. Let's turn on our contour lines. Up towards the hills, and then moving our way, I think we're calling this northwards, towards the train yard there. I want to do a kind of a smaller grid, so I'm thinking maybe 12 by 12, and I'm not going to use the grid tool because we can't really just specify, hey, make this a 12 by 12. In fact, I don't even know how it chooses what the width and size are. Like, so if I do that, like, yeah, I'm not sure how it's determining when to create a new square. So we're just gonna do this manually, which is fine. But for that, I'm gonna have snap to zone grid on, so we can try to maintain the integrity of these tiles. That is a tall order though, so don't hold me to it. One thing, you may remember this is where we had the landfill and the super polluting dairy farm. I did download the no pollution mod because this would never go away in 100 years, and I didn't want to have the residences deal with ground pollution that would probably not be there if, I don't know, they would have some excavation, I would assume, to get rid of it. So I did download that mod. Right now it's just removing ground pollution. There's still air pollution to think about, and noise pollution for sure. But yeah, let's get started on that grid. And I feel like this is the fun part of the game, where you're just laying down a grid and you're trying to get something logical, something that you can easily expand in the future, and make it look like a downtown Chicago or a midtown Manhattan. And yeah, I guess that's just a quintessential North American style for a city. But I did read an article a couple weeks ago just about how the grid is making a comeback because suburbs kind of ruined it, because they centered suburbs around the car, and so you have your residential neighborhoods in one area, and then 10 miles away is where your actual workplace is, and so you have a highway in between. That's the only way you can get there. Oh, that is not cool. But so you need a car, especially in America, to get there. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Why is it doing that? Let's turn off that. It might be trying to snap to one of those. Oh, City Skylines II, why are you doing this to me? All right, we might just plop something there instead. Let's curve this in, just like that. Get rid of these anarchy trees. But yeah, so I was saying the grid's making a comeback apparently because they realize it helps with walkability, and it connects communities a lot, and it's easy to expand, and it's nice to think of something logical like that. As a software engineer, the grid really appeals to me because it is simple and highly extensible. So 12 by 12 it is. I think I'll leave this area open right now because we're starting to get into the hill country. So we are doing a grid, but that being said, I want to, in the words of City Planner Plays, respect the topography. Actually, we flattened this area for the landfill, so maybe we could put our future college in this area, like right below the Beverly Hills neighborhood. But let's also find a connection here. I want to put the elementary school right around here, so I'm gonna leave it open somewhat, but let's get a simple curve, turn on our guidelines so we can gently curve into this corner. We'll start from there and just sweep back up. Okay, cool. And so we have the start of, our 12 by 12-ish grid. Like I said, let's get our elementary school. Now we're actually going to address what DBAACon was saying, where we need more centrally located schools, basically. And I think this would be a great, nice meeting point for, whatever we're going to call district, down to Little Havana. And then maybe we'll keep this here. I think, again, maybe eventually we'll put another elementary school as we expand towards the coast to serve these districts as well as La Puerta and East and West Old Town. But right now, that's fine. How many students we got, actually? Barely any. So yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm going to use Move It to get it a little farther away from the couplet. Just to have a little buffer zone, I think. Whoa, what just happened? Going back. Okay. Got some more anarchy trees. That's okay. We'll get rid of those. All right, now we can start thinking about our zoning. Along the couplet, I think let's put obviously some commercial. We'll stick with commercial or low density commercial here. Let's get some offices now as well. I definitely want to focus on those high taxable income office jobs. Let's get some European just to mix things up. And then maybe one or two North American assets in between. This is where that grid, this is where it really broke, but I see it broke here as well, which, that's fine. Maybe we can put a service building right here. In fact, speaking of services, we gotta take a look at our mail coverage, because pretty sure that is non-existent. Let me toggle whiteness. Oh, that's Wi-Fi. No, oh, okay, yeah, that's showing Wi-Fi right now. And like I guessed, we have basically zero mail service. I thought we had a, interesting. Is this not a post office? It is. I don't know, does that actually cover areas? Whatever, okay. Ah, now I see. Okay, so it's green across the board, but doesn't mean we can't have a few mailboxes. So let's put one around here. Let's put one by the central station. We'll do one by the high school here, and then by our new neighborhood over here. Let's do it a little bit off the couplet. And then how about one for the workers down by the port? We'll do it right there. Uh-oh, did I just lose something? We lost a crane. That's okay. Those are always going to go sometime. Okay, so we got some commercial, we got some office. Time to blanket with some residential. I'm going to turn off whiteness. And let's go to North American. I am just going to blanket fill this in for now. I'm also going to separate the commercial / the workplaces from the residences with a bit of pedestrian paths here. Can I just cross everything? Yes, that worked. Let's continue. Actually, I might leave this square open for a... Oh no, I want this square to be a park. The abnormally shaped one for sure. All right. We could even have a nice path going along the school. We'll come back here and then meet up with this path that leads all the way almost to our central station. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I'm thinking because this is a wonky node and it leads into a couplet, I'm going to upgrade Highland Street to a 4-laner. We're going to keep the sports park intact, but I am going to upgrade all of this side. And yep, I know, thumbs down. Forgive me. Those will rezone. Perhaps we should upzone a little bit of that, though. And when I say a little bit of that, I mean all of that. Let's get some offices over here, I think. Are these offices, actually? Ah, those are all linked to this street. All right, I know I have the zoning tool, but I don't want to mess with the rest of these zones, so I am going to stick with our tried and true pedestrian path method. And now let's put some office zoning in there. We'll go up to here. All right, those will come in. We have met all our... I didn't even put down high density. What's that about? Okay. Like I said, I want to make this abnormal looking block a park. I feel like this area definitely needs one. So let's look at what we have. I have not unlocked large parks yet, but I have plenty of development points. So let's do that. Let's go in here. Large parks, only 2. Love it. And what do we got? So we have large city park, the large plaza, which is very large. We do not have room for this, but perhaps we can start thinking about that with our college. This could be a cool entrance quad to the college. But let's get a city park in here. If it fits, ooh, does it? It does not. Just barely. Will it fit in here? I think it will if I turn off the snapping. So I'm going to remove this, and we have, oh, I can do it on this side. Okay, yeah, let's put it on this side. Because A, I have the mailbox right there, and then B, I can kind of continue using anarchy. I can continue the pedestrian path straight from here. All right, next to the park, let's get some parking. Both for the residences, but also if you want to stick around the park. I'm going to use our surface extension tools to make this whole block basically a city park. I'm also going to see if we can't get this corner to come down. Yes, we can. Excellent. Okay, and then we can get maybe some handy-dandy palm trees. Ooh, just to fill in this area right here. Let's make them a little closer. Let's go 10 meters. Cool. And then how about... Oh, we got props over here, but how about a nice park sign? All right, and we have this area's first city park looking good. Okay, we could even do another custom plaza here, like I mentioned. I want to take a look at our other services, see how we're doing. I'm going to toggle whiteness so we can actually see the coverage. Healthcare, we are fine. We got the single Single clinic for now, which is more than enough. Garbage, we are exporting garbage still since we got rid of our landfill. That's fine. Fire's looking fine. Disaster control, no one cares about. Police, we have our police station over here. And coverage is looking fine for everywhere we have so far. Pretty soon we're going to need to put down either a welfare office or I don't know if we can lock City Hall yet. I feel like it's a little early for a city of 1,000 people to have a City Hall, but that's okay. But yeah, welfare office will come up soon, I think. Education is the big one that I think I'm going to focus on next episode. I'm going to reserve this area for a nice quad plus a college because I feel like I've seen high labor icons pop up around the port of Dewy del Mar and Dewy del Mar train yards recently. They're not there now, but those will definitely come soon. Transit, we do have our one large bus station, but like I said, I might put a tram line in between this couplet here and then reserve this spot for the tram depot in the future. However, for this episode, we can make a new bus line just going up and down Highland Street to and from our central station here. So we will do that before we close. Post, yep, we got good coverage now. Wi-Fi is good. We're going to run into areas over here eventually, but so far so good. Park coverage, not too many parks, but again, this is an early city, only 1,000 people, and I think we are good so far. And everywhere is green, so tourism, still too early for that. Residences, obviously this is the port, so no one's going to live there. Land value, I'm not too worried about. Natural resources, again, happiness. Everyone's happy, so far I think we're doing good, which means we can continue to zone. I'm going to turn whiteness back off. And let's just blanket this area again. I also want to think about this side of the couplet, which is Highland Street, which I guess feeds into there. I don't know why this is not Highland Street either, but this should be like Highland Street East or West and Highland Street West and East or whatever. But on this side, let's put some low density offices that are kind of closer to the industrial zone. I don't know if commercial would want to set up shop here. We could even get a few factories dotted in between here, like by the bus depot. Although I did say I might reserve this for an extension, but we could fit that in there easily, I think. Let's get some more factories over here, maybe a few more offices. And then over here we can zone more residential. Alright, I'm going to come back to Highland Street and check out our medium density zoning because we do have medium density demand now. So I might upzone these areas as well. This is, oh, these is commercial. Can I kind of fill this in a little more maybe? Yeah, I want to get all of these filled in. Let me try to redo, oh wait, now it, oh that's right. This is the one I tried to redo. Let me try to coax it back onto this side of the highway, or the of the road. You know what, that's not going to play ball, so we're just going to manually do this. I'm going to open up Find It, go to our Buildings tab, let's look at Office Buildings, expand this, open our filters. This is, oh God, this is so amazing. I love this tool. Thank you, TTW. Fun fact, I actually was on the team that helped get these icons, so yeah, that was an awesome project. But let's look at, I think maybe 3x3 or 3x4 if they have it. Office low. Yeah, that's a good size. We'll just stick that right there as that comes in. We got good development here. I feel like we should upzone these. Let's get all of this to some medium density. You can be a low density still, as well as over here. I'm going to go 4 deep, I think. Get rid of all of those. All right, that's going to fill in nicely. I'm going to keep these as row houses by the bridge. We actually have a spot for, I think, either a park or what I might do is when we build the tram line, if it comes down here, it could kind of connect to the road on Highland Street, come down through the pedestrian mall, and since this is a transit hub, I'm sure we could make room for a tram line as well that kind of loops back on itself around here and then goes back up Highland Street into its little space in the collector here. Speaking of upzoning, I think it's time that we upzone Oak Street. This like cleaves East and West Old Town perfectly, and it's just a great sight line to our central station fountain right there. So I definitely want this to be a divided 4-lane road with palm trees going down the center. So what I'm going to do first is de-zone everything on it first. And I'm going to get rid of Valley Lane here. These are too many intersections, I feel like, for that short of a stretch of road. I'm also going to get rid of these two monstrosity houses right here, even though those would be probably some of the highest value houses in Dewy del Mar right now just because of their views, and they have direct access to the beach. But yeah, sorry, you're going to go. And now let's go to our 4-lane divided road, replace tool. I'm going to turn off snap to zoning cell length so I can expand in both directions equally. All right. Now I don't think we can actually place, or we can actually choose the trees that go down the center here, but thanks to Anarchy and Line tool, we can do something similar. So we're going to go to palm trees, Line tool, I think 10 meters is fine, and then Anarchy is on. Turn on fence option, and we're just going to go make sure they're actually on the median, down like that. Ooh, I like that. And even better, we can get our grate or what are they called? Crate and something decals. The ones that, yeah, these tree grates. Let's look for some thin ones. Sure, let's do these. So this is rectangle 1 small with concrete. If we use the line tool at 10 meters, they should all just line up or be like the same. Oh, we gotta go 90 degrees. They should all line up under the tree since we spaced the tree out at 10 meters as well. So let's bring it all the way out there and plop. And look at that. Oh, that looks so good. All right, same for all these. You know, I know naming the street doesn't really stick, but we gotta do, let's do Palm Tree Way. Cheesy, I know. Okay, that's great. Okay, now we have Palm Tree Way open for business. Let's start zoning. So you saw the zones. They are all messed up. So let's do some plop the Gurllls. I'm gonna search for buildings. I'm gonna do a mixed use, I think. So let's look at let's just look at all of them. We're gonna go to medium, and let's look at North American. That's a little big. Oh, that's a 6x6. That's why. Let's do some 3x. Those are a little deep. 4x4s. Happy medium. So yeah, we'll plop some of these down. 4x6. Nah, a little tight. 3x4. We can stick over here, and we won't do all the blocks. We're gonna do this slowly and methodically, I think. Oh, I actually kind of like how those overlap a little bit. We could even maybe use the move it mod to push this back and make those the same. Ooh, sorry guys. For some reason that is also my M hotkey, but same distance from the road. That looks a little bit better too. All right. I'm also going to kind of manually place the shops in this block right here, because I want them to face Palm Tree Way as well. So let's look at. Ooh, this is a big one. If we can get it facing, let's look at, so this is mixed. We want a corner building. Mixed left. Let's see if that's the right corner we want. So we could do that, but that would be facing Garnett Street. So let's look at mixed right. And let's do a 5x5. That's a big one, yeah. I'm going to turn off Snap the Road so I can place this manually. I do kind of want a bigger building for when you come out of the station and boom, right there. You feel like you're in the heart of it, you know? Just like that. And I'm glad that it kind of auto-connected the pavement there. So the road terrain does come up a little bit, but I think that's fine. We can find maybe a shop to fill in this square right here. In fact, let's look at commercial. Get rid of this filter. And there is no medium filter, so we're just going to search all. There we go. How about a 3x5? We'll turn on this again. Sure, and that kind of fixes the terrain a little bit for us. Is that a nice restaurant? I wouldn't say a nice restaurant, but it is a restaurant. I'm going to use the Move It mod to kind of straighten this out a little bit, bring it to the corner. Oh my god, again. Sorry, guys. And then get rid of some of these anarchy trees. We can have maybe some palm trees going down the center, or down this line here. Excellent. I also think maybe, let's see if I can't just lower the road a tad. And we can always get rid of those anarchy trees. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. All right, I'm gonna click this so it, oh, come on. I didn't even click M. All right, let me get rid of these trees, guys. You know, I gotta do the same thing right here. This is the first thing that people will see when they come out of the gate right here. If they're not going to Sunnyside Park, they're gonna see this block right here, and I want it to be epic. So this was a right corner. Let's look for a left corner mixed-use building. Mixed left. Is it 2x2 big? Let's do a 3x4. All right, that's the right size. Is the one I want though? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's move it a... Actually, no, I want it attached to the building right there. So we can just use our surface tool to bring this one. I'm debating whether we need this alley right now, this foggy lane, but I think it's fine. So let's now just fill in this area right here before we make our bus lane over in our new district over there and call it a day, I think. I'm wondering, what can we do with this area here? Is this big enough for a custom parking lot? Let's take a look. We're gonna go to pathways. Probably not, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this road right here. I'm gonna fill in, actually, I'm gonna move these two over. And now we can fill in, there's probably like a 3x4 that we can put in there. So let's take a look. Yeah, we'll do mixed. I think we got enough commercial along the street right now. So we are at medium, North American. Let's look for 3 wide. That's a little deep. I don't want 6 deep. Yeah, sure. Okay. Looking good so far. And then back here, let's just do a small custom parking lot. So let's go back here. We're going to attach to about there. And yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot of spots. So we're just going to place that down. We're going to cover it with pavement. And we have our custom parking lot. This actually gives us enough space to put a pedestrian connection from, yeah, right alongside it. And then out to our main street. Oh, that's perfect. That just fits. Love it. Okay. And look, we got our first parking lot customer. Excellent. All right. I think to finish this corner, let's look for a nice tiled surface, I think. Let's use, I haven't used dark gray, hexagonal. Let's do white and gray. We're just going to fill this corner with a nice little sitting area and fountain. Ooh, that's bright. That's very sunshine vibes, I think, next to the palm trees. Let's get a, how about a small fountain. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the small one. We'll pop that right in the center there. Let's get some benches. Good, those are still there. We'll put them around, just like in a circle pattern. If you're sitting on this bench, you got a nice view of the wall. Speaking of, let's cover this wall with one of our awesome graffiti decals. Just like this. This bottom boy is gonna get cut off, sorry, but that's okay. We'll do it right down the center there, I think. Now we got some character for our Palm Tree Way first block. Oh, that's looking so great, guys. I'm so happy. These grate and tree decals really are just like, they really make a difference. I'm trying to think of the expression there, the icing on the cake or something like that. But this is a tropical map, so they are the blueberries on your ice cream. They're great. All right, awesome. How about last thing, I'm gonna get some plants to cover the base of this wall here. We'll go to line tool, go to 2.1 meters, and then just cover it like that. Get some foliage. This could be another custom parking lot like we did back here eventually, which, wow, it's already filled up, but yeah, we'll leave that for now. All right, the very last thing I want to do with our, last two things I want to do with our expanded district out here is get some bus routes going. So let's put a stop sign right by the park. Also put some by our new offices over here. In fact, let's get a bus line going right here to drop workers off to and from the cargo stations. And then let's have 2 more right around here. Now we're gonna go to our bus line tool. We're gonna start at the bus station. We'll start at this one, go up here, yes, perfect. Enter our couplet. We're gonna go down here, and this should take Orchard Way, yes. Coming back down here, and then we will complete with our loop. Excellent, we have our new bus line. So actually, let's name the district first so we can name the bus line. I'm thinking, because this is kind of in the lowlands of these hills right here, let's turn off all these, well, we'll snap to the road, I think. But yeah, because we're in the lowlands of the hills, I think this should be something like Paradise Hills. Yeah, I am going to turn on Anarchy, I lied. Moonlight Square, you are now Paradise Hills. That's nice and sunny sounding. All right, so we can call this line the MTA Paradise Hills line, or just MTA Paradise Hills. And we'll call this one MTA, we'll do Old Town to Train Yards. Change this color so I can see it. All right. Welcome to Paradise Hills, everyone. All right, let's take a recap of what we did. So over here, let's see, Andrew D 2212. Actually, it doesn't have to be over here, but he just mentioned maybe be a little more clear about which road snapping options you're taking and why. And so we did this demo over here about why I primarily choose these 3 right here, and then sometimes guidelines and sometimes snap zone grid. And then usually always I show contour lines, although this is not really a road snapping tool, so not sure why it's in this menu. But yeah, that was the first, first suggestion. Then we had J.SKILL talk about how we had to fix our cargo route, which required that we fix this wayward node that was over here. So thank you, J.SKILL. Next, we had Brejman 80-KP1MX, who in French said, hey, we should have higher cranes and that they should be on a train track. So we kind of got that. Some of our cranes are missing once again. I'm sure they'll pop back at some point. But I do love the suggestion of having a track for the cranes to move back and forth on. So maybe we'll just say that those cranes are in maintenance right now. We then moved down to the central station because, let's see, the Obenkaya, or Theo Benkaya, pointed out that no one could actually access our parking lot here because it was on a bus lane road. So we did fix that. We also made this into a normal road so they could turn left to get off of this before they entered the transit loop. And then _Mike628 said, hey, if you want to have a pedestrian bridge, just have a real pedestrian path that I can connect to, instead of trying to force it to connect to these tiles here. Which, yeah, even though we didn't really need a bridge, we could have come in between these tracks right here. This just kind of looks nicer, I think, and we got to keep the garden there. And it was an excuse to have this cool cable-stayed bridge, which I think looks great. And then the big one, which led into our grid expansion, was from DAA Khan, which said, hey, you need to focus more about putting some commercial and office among your residential districts, which we did over here. We will continue to do along Palm Tree Way. And then we sprinkled some more in our new Paradise Hills district. But they also said, hey, you should have more centrally located schools. So we added our elementary school over here, which is now going to service Paradise Hills. I should probably go through all of our educational buildings and pre-select which districts they service. Otherwise, they're going to try to service everything, basically. And then we finished up by doing a few details in our main entrance, main block right here, which is looking great. And if we go down and around without getting nausea, we have some awesome wall art, which is looking cool. And then we finally built our next bus line. So yeah, things are looking good. Thank you all for the comments. Keep them coming. I will do future episodes where I incorporate your feedback because y'all are so much smarter than me, and I love what you have to suggest. And it's going to make the city better, as we've already seen. So yeah, next episode, I think I will focus on building a college around here. I will expand Paradise Hills and start zoning in this part of the grid as well. But I'll expand the grid out, and then after that, we can start working on Beverly Hills. We will continue the densification of both Little Havana and West and East Old Town. I'll start zoning Palm Tree Way a little bit more, and then yeah, we will just see where this series takes us. But so far, I'm having a lot of fun, and I really appreciate y'all coming around to stick with me. So until then, I am out this week. I'm gonna go to a work conference in Philadelphia, so probably won't have a video until next week. But yeah, until then, have a good time, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.